Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today, before we even get started, how about you guys just pause, let me know how you are doing in the comment section, because we are on, at least here, week 3.5 of quarantine, and I just want to know how you guys are doing. Today's video is a little update on how me and Darien are probably in the process of weaning, so it's kind of come up a little bit abrupt. I kind of saw it coming probably a few weeks ago, but I wasn't really sure just because this weaning process has just been a little bit different than my others. I'm even still at the point where I'm making more milk than with my previous two at this stage. So there's milk, but when there began to be a letdown, he would unlatch. That's kind of how it started 3 weeks ago. But then he would relatch and then he would give it a go again. And it would just be kind of like this weird yo-yo. Sometimes he would take the milk, sometimes he would just stop and then just want to go play. Or he would just want to go straight to bed. And now for the past week, we've been to the point where he literally latches. It's kind of it's just because it's part of his routine. He latches and then he unlatches after maybe 5 seconds, and once the other side latches and then goes to play or says, I want to go to bed. And part of me is really excited about that because that means that there's a lot of freedom, I guess, for me. And now my husband can just put him to bed, and it means that I could even go away on trips if I wanted to in the near future, even though I can't go anywhere right now. There's this large sense of freedom, but there's also this large sense of, especially now with what's going on, with all of the weird changes, there's this sudden sense of change. And also I would have preferred, and I would have been up for breastfeeding him until this whole thing kind of runs more of its course. It would have made me feel better. There's so much studies about how when mothers get sick, so much antibodies get through the breast milk that helps build the immunity of the child or of the breastfeeding baby. I pretty much was hoping to wean around 2 years, but then when this happened, I was well, I'm for keeping him on another 6 months if that's what he wanted. If I had a 4 or 6 month old who wanted to wean, I would probably try to keep them on, but at this point at 2 years, I just feel like I'm losing a little bit of my sense of which I can protect him. I was excited about weaning, but I really felt, especially when this whole thing started 3 weeks ago, I felt like I had a weapon of defense for him. And I know that I still feed him well, and I can give him lots of smoothies, and I can give him extra smoothies and more fruits and vegetables. It's just as a mother, there's something really profound about that bond, and also being able to protect your child. And I just think it was abrupt and very strange timing. I'm just not going through an easy time. Weaning blues is a real thing. After you have a baby, there's something called the baby blues. It's because there's massive shift in hormones. When you wean, your prolactin and your oxytocin levels go down. Your oxytocin hormone is known as your love hormone, which stimulates bonding, which obviously we're already very well bonded, and no matter if we stop breastfeeding or not, I know that that bond will always be strong, just like it has been with my girls. It's just that it is a little bit of a transition period. Prolactin actually keeps you very calm, and I would even say grounded. And I've actually noticed when I reassessed how I've been feeling, this week has been, for other reasons too, not just hormonally, but has been harder for me to cope with a lot of the information that is being displayed to me. And I kind of came to the conclusion oh, maybe there's something hormonally also involved with why I feel a little bit more out of my peace zone, if that makes sense. Because of all of what's been going on, I haven't really had as much headspace to process it all, to be honest, until I've really sat down and filmed this video. And last night when I came to the conclusion that I wanted to film this video, as a matter of fact, I had absolutely no idea that Darien's last proper feed was going to be his last feed because I was so distracted by what's going on, and I just didn't expect him to abruptly not want to feed anymore. Darien's breastfeeding journey was so hard. I was shocked that it was. Like, I thought, I had a really hard bout my first time. I had a really easy bout my second time. I thought for sure that this time would be easier because I was a third-time mom, and it wasn't. It was so hard, if not my hardest. I'm not really sure. And I think part of why I kind of feel like it was maybe my hardest was because I just didn't see it coming, With my first, I was ready for anything. And this time it was so hard, and we worked there were so many sleepless nights, and it was really nice, like probably around, 6 months up until this point, things finally settled down and breastfeeding actually became somewhat relaxing, and now it's like all of that hard work, it's over. But I know that it's always gonna benefit him for the rest of his life, and I'm just so glad that we've made it this far. Everything is just so weird right now, and this was kind of the icing on the cake, I guess you could say. Nothing lasts forever. But as of right now, he hasn't really properly fed in about a week. And as for my milk, I think because it was semi-gradual, but I just didn't see that it was gradual. It just feels very abrupt. Like my breasts are not super engorged or swollen. They were for like maybe a day a little bit fuller than normal. But that's what the beauty is of gradual weaning and breastfeeding into toddlerhood, because generally speaking, toddlers don't take in as much breast milk as babies. So it's been quite easy for me on at least a semi-physiological level, not hormonally, but like the boobs are good. And it's just a new chapter, and I'm proud of how many years have I breastfed? Hang on. 5 years. Dude, that's like half of my 20s, and then the other, like, you could basically say 3 years I spent pregnant, dude. It's like, it is the end of an era. I think I pretty much have every reason to have a little cry here. It's been intense. It's been an intense physiological journey, and I don't know that it's over yet, 100% for sure, but I'm excited for what's to come. And I really appreciate everybody who has listened to all of my breastfeeding sob stories, and who has been there for me, and who has cheered me on, and just thank you guys so much. And also, I'm so happy that I was able to share these journeys with all of you, and bring a little bit of awareness to how, no matter how prepared you are, you gotta sometimes learn to evolve and adjust accordingly. It's been a crazy journey, and I'm so glad so many of you guys benefited from how to wean your baby off the nipple shield video. That video has a lot of views now, and I'm so glad I was able to help so many people, and that I had no idea that there were that many people in the same circumstances as me. And I am also blessed that I was able to breastfeed my children as long as I have. Like I said, I'll keep you updated, and yes, I think I'm just gonna go for a walk, enjoy my day, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye!